So in the last 6 months, we have had one sale. So when this happens, this is important, all right? And if you're looking at a deal, you're looking at an opportunity, and you see that there isn't much activity, you see that there isn't much sales, you see that there aren't many comparable sales in the last 6 months, and all you have is one sale to look at, that is going to be a cause for concern, because what that tells you is that there isn't enough activity for you to be able to really get that deal sold. I mean, even if you got it at a ridiculously good, too stupid to walk away from price, you're still going to have to deal with the uphill challenge of getting the attention and eyeballs on that deal, and it's going to be challenging. Today, what we're going to be talking about is deal or no deal. I'm going to show you in real time how to use free tools. Everything that we're going to cover today is absolutely free. It's really just all about your efforts and what it is that you're doing. We're going to give you some free tools, except for one. I take it back. There is going to be one tool that is a paid tool, and I'll share that with you. And you're going to use it, and it's going to help you get some deals. So, going back to what I said earlier, while I wait, if you are looking at this and you are watching our content and you are appreciating our content, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up so that I know that you can hear the audio okay, and make sure that you like and follow us or subscribe to our content. Over 60% of the people, believe it or not, that are seeing our stuff are not subscribers or are not followers or are not fans of our content. So it really just helps us out, and it helps me out when it comes time to creating more content that we're creating for you. Okay, let's go to the first slide. Now, one of the things that you're going to need, okay, and again, we're going to be going on how to do deal analysis, is you're going to need to know where to find these deals. Now, what we did was I had my assistant create a spreadsheet of every single search term that you could imagine that would be relevant to an investor. And we're talking about search terms like fixer-upper, needs TLC, all cash, as is, bankruptcy, bank, repo, REO, you name it, every possible search term that you can think of that is in the public comments on the MLS description. These are all on-market properties or for sale by owner properties. If that word or that keyword appears in the description, it's going to show up. And so I'm going to walk you through what that looks like. If you go to Zillow.dispodragons.com, Zillow.dispodragons.com, it is going to look a little something like this. Okay, it's going to take you to PayPal. Now, for $10, you're going to get this spreadsheet, and I'm going to share it with you. It's $10. It really just goes to take care of my staff virtually. They work overseas. And so $10, and it gives you access to a spreadsheet, and this is what the spreadsheet looks like. I'm going to zoom in because I know that some of you are watching it on your mobile devices and you can't really see what this looks like. But this is the spreadsheet. So for all 50 states, all right, you see they're all there, and these are the keywords. All right, I'll zoom in a little bit more. View, show, no. Anyway, that's as good as I can get when it comes to zooming in. Sorry about that. So each of these keywords, bank, bankruptcy, cash, confirmation, fixer, foreclosure, handyman, investor, probate, repair, REO, short sale, sold as is, TLC, FSBO search, tenant occupied. All of those words are in, somewhere in this property description. So I can go to, for instance, let's go to Delaware, and then I can look for cash. I just click on this cell and it will open up a new window for me with that search, and it will show me all of the properties that fall under that category and that have that key phrase. And in this case, the key phrase happens to be cash. So somewhere in there's cash. Let's look at this one, for instance. We're going to break down some deal analysis during this training, and I'm going to show you what I would probably offer for this deal and what I believe the best possible exit strategy is going to be. So you're going to watch me do this in real time. This one, let's look for that keyword because that's really, there we go. This one says cash cow property. Okay, so this one doesn't necessarily qualify. Well, actually, if you're an investor and you're looking for property that obviously produces income, then this is something that makes sense. So the word cash is in there. I can go back. I can then look at the other ones. And we've got another one on this side. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. So I can click on that one. And during this training, you're going to have to forgive me. I'm used to making eye contact with you as I'm talking, but in this training, it's going to be a lot of us watching the screen, so we're not going to make as much eye contact, all right? I apologize in advance. So let's look for the key phrase cash. Look, it's right here. It says cash sale only. Now, when you hear the remarks that say cash sale only, that is for a few different reasons. Number one, it cannot be financed, okay? So there are probably repairs that need to be made to the property that are going to prevent it from being financed, which is why the agent is saying that it is a cash only sale. Now, the other option, though, is hard money, okay? A hard money lender will lend on properties that traditionally cannot be financed using conventional loans or using FHA loans or using VA loans. So this would be something that we might consider. And you can take a look at the property, you can scroll through the pictures, and you can take a look at the photos. Now, in this case, there are no interior photos, right? For whatever reason, the agent felt that it was best to not include the interior photos, or the seller requested not to include the interior photos inside the property, on the MLS. For whatever reason, they just preferred that. But this is an example of one. So if you're just tuning in, what I was sharing with everyone was that if you go to Zillow.dispodragons.com, you will have access to our spreadsheet. It costs $10. Come on, that's less than somebody's lunch. $10. And what it will give you access to is it will give you access to this spreadsheet. And this spreadsheet has every possible search term that an investor would want for all 50 states. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to actually go through. Let's look at Georgia real quick. I'm going to look for the word fixer, and we're going to do some live deal hunting as we speak, okay? This is live. So right now, there are approximately 585 results for Georgia single-family homes that have the words or the word fixer in the public remarks, in the description, all right? Now, what you can do is you can come in here and you can start to deal hunt, and you can start to look for properties that you should make offers on. These are on-market properties. These are properties that are represented by a real estate agent, which means that the seller has an agent representing them. Now, on this training, we're not going to debate whether or not you should go after on-market properties or off-market properties, or we're not going to debate whether or not you make more money with on-market properties or less money with on-market properties. I'm not going to debate the validity of that. There are plenty of people that are very successful doing what it is that I'm going to show you right now, and it goes by different terms. Some people call it micro flipping. Some people call it astro flipping. Whatever it is that you want to call it, it's really just you going after on-market properties. That's it. That's what this is all about, okay? So there are opportunities out there. There are deals out there. It just takes some effort, and you need the right tools. And the first tool that I just showed you was that spreadsheet, a simple spreadsheet that has all of the possible search terms that an investor would want to see, and it's for all 50 states, right? So it's there. It's available for you. $10. You go to Zillow.dispodragons.com. You pay for it, PayPal it, boom. It redirects you to the spreadsheet right away, okay? So let's just look at this one, all right? This is one in Augusta, Georgia. It's on the market for $99. There's the photos. I'm going to scroll down so that we can see. It's not letting me scroll down. All right. There's the description. Cash only, right? It's a fix and flip, buy and hold. It's been on the market 15 days, 3,567 views. Okay. Now, I want you to scroll down a little bit more, because what I want you to do is I want you to focus on the property history. I want to see when was the last time that this property was bought and sold. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit more, and here's the price history. So it looks like they listed it for sale on December 12th for $109, and then about a week later they reduced it to $99,000. What that tells me is we've got a pretty motivated seller. Or what that tells me is that they've already received a few offers on this property. Now, what I am going to suggest is that when you see an opportunity like this, you immediately call the agent. All right, just immediately call the agent. You get on the phone with them. I do not suggest that you start comping properties before talking to the agent. And the reason that I do not suggest that you do that is because you, when you are brand new, could take 20, 30, 40 minutes, an hour to comp a property out. It could take you a long time when you're brand new because you're just starting to learn how to do this. Now, for somebody like me or a veteran or a mentor, they could probably comp something like this, especially if it's in urban or in a suburban area. They can probably do it in about 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so long as it's not this really rare property. So my suggestion is don't comp it first. Talk to the agent first to save yourself some time, because the agent might tell you, oh, we've got 10 offers on this right now. And you may not want to get into a bidding war. You may not want to submit an offer if they've already got 10 offers on it, right? Or the agent may say, we just accepted an offer today, this morning. We just got it accepted. I'm sorry, it's already under contract. Now think about it. If you're brand new, you're deal hunting and you're looking at this property, and then you pause and stop everything you're doing so that you could comp it. It takes you 20, 30, 40 minutes to an hour to comp the property. You've invested an hour in comping the property, and then you call the agent, right? You know your numbers now, but now you call the agent and you say, Mr. or Mrs. Agent, I'd like to make an offer of X dollars. And then the agent says to you, well, it's already under contract. I'm sorry. What did that last hour of your time, you're never going to get back. You won't get that back, which is why I tell everybody, don't start comping a deal out yet until you've actually made contact with the seller or with an agent, so that way you know if it's A, still available, B, if they've gotten any offers on it, C, how much were those offers for, and D, why didn't they accept it? Right? That's really all you need to know. You need to know that information. Now, once you've got that data, then you can say, okay, Mr. and Mrs. Agent, I appreciate you taking my call. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go run my numbers, and then I'll get right back to you. Okay? There is no rule. There is no law that states that you have to make an offer on the first call when you call up an agent or if you call up a seller. Okay? There's no rule. So really, don't comp it yet until you actually speak to somebody and until you actually come to the conclusion that they're available, they're motivated, and this is something that you want to make an offer on as a deal, okay? Now, I'm looking at the comments right now on Facebook and on YouTube, so forgive me if you see me scrolling up and down. So let's analyze this one real quick, all right? Now, I've got the address here, okay? What I normally do is I copy 2 windows, and then I paste it in. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to look at the map. I want to see exactly where this property is at. I zoom out. Okay. This property is right up against the freeway, but I want to zoom out so I know where I'm at a little bit more. Okay, so it's just south of Main Augusta, right in the middle. Then I go back to this to my second window that I opened up. I'm going to have to minimize this because now I'm going to be looking for comps. All right, it's not playing nice with me, so let's start all over. Here's the listing. I'm going to go back to search. Okay, good. Now, what I want you to do every time you do a new search and you're using Zillow is reset all filters. Okay? What's most important is what has sold, not what is actively for sale. What has sold is more important when it comes to determining the value. You want to know what properties are for sale, what they're selling for, what they're on the market for, what the asking price is, but your weight should really be placed on what it's actually sold for, not what they're asking for. Because a property can be asking for way more than it's worth and be sitting on the market for 120, 200 days, and that means nothing to you. So what's most important is what has it sold for. Sorry, I got a lot of dust coming in. Okay. So now you're going to scroll down and you're going to say, go sold in the last 90 days. And then you're going to go and you're going to scroll up and you're going to adjust your square footage. Your square footage should not be more than 20% up and 20% down. So in this case, the property is, how big is it? 1680. So if I use a calculator, 1680 times 20%. is 336. So I can go 336 up and I can go 336 down. In this case, I'm probably, because they started at 1250, excuse me, they have their own presets. I'm going to go 23 up and 23 down, which means I can probably go up to 2500 as well. Now, the other thing you want to take into account is year built. This property is 1964. You can go 20 years up and 20 years down. Try not to go anything beyond that. So I'm going to say nothing more than 1985. And then I'm going to click apply. Now I'm going to zoom in a little bit more on the map. So I'm going to have to go back to the map just to see where it's at. It's just west of Peach Orchard Road, which is right here. Here's Peach Orchard Road. And now I know where I'm at, okay? Couple rules when you're comping out deals. Number one, you never cross freeways. You never cross highways. You never cross natural boundaries such as hills, lakes, rivers, streams. And you never cross man-made boundaries like freeways or highways. Now, you can in rare circumstances if you need to cross a highway and there's no comps. But my slice of heaven, right, that's what I like to call it, is right here. This is where I want to be. This is where all of my comps should be. And a lot of people don't know that you can use the Zillow drawing tool to do this. But this is where I want all of my comps. You click apply, and now you see roughly where my comps are. Now I'm going to sort it by the highest to lowest because I want to see what the highest is. So the highest is 241, and then another one for 241, and then we've got one for 234. So I'm already starting to see some of the writing on the wall. I'm already starting to see that some of the nicer homes, none of these look flipped or rehabbed to me. That's really what I would like to see. This is a really clean home. It's just not flipped, but it's very, very nice and very, very livable, right? So this one went for 241. Now that I have an idea, I can go back to this and I can say, okay, they're asking 99. I know that a really nice home is probably going to go for about 241. If it's completely flipped, and I mean completely flipped, I'll give or take maybe an extra 15 to 20,000, maybe 265, right? So let's just be conservative. 265 if it was completely flipped. So here's my numbers. 265 is what I think it would be worth. That is the ARV. That's the after repaired value. 70% of that. Now, right now in this market, we're going to keep it at about 70%. Okay? 70% is roughly where we're going to be. It varies depending on the market. In a market that is accelerating, where prices are just going high, they're going gangbusters, and they keep going up, you can obviously offer more. In this market, where properties are sitting a lot longer, you're going to have to be more aggressive on your buy price, on your acquisition price. So we're going to stick to 70. I know that there's some people that stick to 60% or even 65%, but we're going to stick to 70. So we're at 185,500. 185,500. Now we're going to have to take into account repairs. In this case, this property doesn't look like a gut job, but it definitely needs to be rehabbed and remodeled, okay? So let's go over those numbers when it comes to repairs. When it comes to repairs, and I'm going to pull out my calculator again. When it comes to repairs, if it is a lipstick property, lipstick meaning it's just floor and paint. Very, very few properties are just floor and paint. It's $25 a square foot. So just floor and paint is $25 a square foot. So whatever the square footage is, you would multiply it by 25. Now, if it's a rehab, a remodel, right? It's just a basic remodel. You're going to have to remodel the house, okay? In this case, this is probably a basic remodel. It's going to be running you around $45 for just a basic remodel. And that's where you're just redoing the house, okay? Nothing structural, nothing, we're not talking about roof. We're not talking about foundation. We're not talking about replacing the septic. We're not talking about replacing the pool. We're just talking about rehabbing the property. We're at $45. Now, a gut job, a property that really needs a lot of repairs, a property that is in really, really, really bad shape. It needs new roof, it needs foundation, it needs a whole bunch of work. It's gutted. You're going to be at $75 a square foot. All right. Now, in this case, this one looks like just a regular remodel. I'm going to do $45. $45 times 1680, which is how big the structure is. I'm now at $75,000. Okay. I would recommend that you always round up to the highest 10,000. Okay, always round up. So if I see 75,000, I'm going to assume that the repairs are going to be about $80,000. Round up when it comes to repairs. Round down when it comes to your value. Okay, round down. All right. So we've determined and we've estimated that that fixed ARV on this property would be about $265,000. Let's do our numbers one more time. Times 0.70. Right. And I'm trying to make this as large as I can for you so that you can see it. But the font, there we go. Okay, so we're at 185,500 minus repairs, and I just calculated the repairs are probably going to be about $80,000. Now we're down to 105, right? Now, if you're going to be purchasing it, that means that 99,000 is a pretty good target price, right? It's not a bad price for you if you're buying this as an investor. So if you're going to buy this at $99,000, it's probably a good deal. If you are purchasing this property and you are considering it and you don't know what your exit strategy is going to be, you don't know if you're going to buy it, fix it, and flip it yourself. You don't know if you're going to buy it, fix it, and hold it yourself. You don't know if you're going to buy it, fix it, and maybe, or just buy it and maybe assign it to somebody else. If you are going to wholesale this, then you're going to want to deduct your assignment fee. Let's say you want to make $20,000. That means you would have to get the property. Your target price would be about $85,500. So if I was to make an offer on this particular property, and again, some of you are watching this live, so some of you are actually going to do this today, you're going to reach out to this agent and you can approach them and you can make them an offer for $85,000. And there is a safe padding there because we've been conservative on the ARV. We underestimated the ARV and we overestimated the repairs. We're using a 70% of the ARV. We subtracted $80,000 in repairs, and we're thinking that in order for us to be able to make about $20,000, we'd have to come in at about $85,000 at our offer price. And if you can get it accepted at that price, then there's a very good chance that you'll be able to make your assignment fee and you'll be able to find an investor that would purchase this property. All right. Now I'm going to pause just for one moment because I want to see some of the comments and see what other people are might be confused about. Okay, so we just finished one. Just going to sit tight for a little while longer. Okay, let's go to the next one now. I'm going to go back to the spreadsheet. This time I'm going to pick a different state. This time I'm going to go with, non-disclosure states. Let's talk about that. Comping non-disclosure states can be challenging because sites like Zillow and Redfin do not have to put their properties, they don't have to put what they sold for because it's non-disclosure. So let's just do a non-disclosure. Let's go to Texas. All right, and I'm going to show you how you would handle that. Now, the best way to handle a non-disclosure state is to use a paid tool. Okay, but I'm just trying to teach you, free ways to do this. Even though the spreadsheet does cost $10 to have access to this, the other thing that you could do is you could use batch leads. Now, if you go to batch.dispodragons.com, batch.dispodragons.com. You'll have access to batch leads. Batch leads will help you with the comping. It will also give you 10,000, a list pull of 10,000 leads every single month, and they are all skip traced. Skip trace is including. So batch.dispodragons.com, and you get a free 7-day trial once you sign up. Okay, and there's different plans. There's $119, $349, $749. Obviously, the more you spend, the more you can get 75,000 monthly leads. For $119, you get the 20,000 leads. Okay, and 3 users on this. So batchleads.com. So when we're talking about non-disclosure states, sorry about that. What you're going to do is let's go back to Fixer and let's look in Texas. So now I'm going to click on this. I'm going to close these 2 windows. And if you have any questions about what we're covering right now, feel free to pose those questions because I am looking at the comments. All right. So now we've got one here at 99,000 in Sonora, Texas. Let's take a look at this one. We're going to use the same strategy that I did last time. I open up 2 windows. Then I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to see where it's at on the map. Okay, it's in Sonora, which is west of Austin, probably about 4 to 6 hours. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. All right. So I'm looking at it here. It is on the west side of the 467, but north of the 277. So now I'm going to come out of this map. I'm going to scroll in. Remember, every time you do a new search, you're going to reset all your filters. You're going to click apply. Now what we're going to do is we're going to look for the solds. I only want houses. I'm going to click deselect. I only want houses. Apply. And then I'm going to go to the square footage. What was the square footage of this property? 1629. Remember, we can go 20% up and 20% down. So I'm going to go down to about 1250. And I'm going to go to as high as 2000. Okay, apply. Now we've got one sale in the last, let's see, in the last 14 days. Apply. Okay, no sales in the last 14 days. According to Zillow, no sale in the last 30 days. And let's see if we've got any sales in the last 6 months. I'm just going to hop straight into 6 months. So in the last 6 months, we have had one sale. So when this happens, this is important, all right? And if you're looking at a deal, you're looking at an opportunity, and you see that there isn't much activity, you see that there isn't much sales, you see that there aren't many comparable sales in the last 6 months, and all you have is one sale to look at, that is going to be a cause for concern, because what that tells you is that there isn't enough activity for you to be able to really get that deal sold. I mean, even if you got it at a ridiculously good, too stupid to walk away from price, you're still going to have to deal with the uphill challenge of getting the attention and eyeballs on that deal, and it's going to be challenging. So in this case, we've got a property that just sold. Now, we don't know the price of the property because it's non-disclosure, but what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down, and I'm going to show you the options that you have. You can look at the pending, okay? So we know that it went pending in December for $100,000. There's a very good chance that it probably sold very, very close to that $100,000. Not always, not guaranteed. So what are your next options? Well, the next option is you can scroll back up. You can look at the, well, who purchased the property, right? What agent bought it? And you can contact that agent, or you can call the listing agent. The telephone number is there. You can call the listing agent, send them a message, and you can basically say, hey, Chris, I just saw your listing that recently sold on such and such street. I was just curious, how much did that property end up selling for? And then they may or may not give you the value. Okay, that's how you use intel from real estate agents. I have discovered that in some states you can use Redfin to also find comps. So I'm going to open up Redfin just so that you can see. And again, this is part of the reason that I suggest, if you have the money to do it, to invest in paid tools like Batch Leads, because when you do that, what happens is that you don't have to go through all the trouble of finding these comps the way I'm doing it right now. I'm showing you how to do it for free, but it just takes a little bit more effort. So I'm going to find out what the city and the zip code is. We're in Sonora, Texas. So now I'm going to look for Sonora. And remember, Redfin isn't in all 50 states. Sonora, Texas. I heard rumors that Zillow might be trying to buy out Redfin, by the way. I don't know if that's true or not, or if you've heard the same thing. If you have, let me know. All right, so let's scroll down. I'm going to filter it now to the sold. I want to see sold. And I want to see the last one, the ones that have sold in the last 3 months. Okay, great. Now look, in this case, it gives me another listing that sold for $60,000, but it doesn't show me any pictures. It showed me the same one that Zillow did show. It showed me, I also have a brand new construction, and then I've got this one that sold on December 60th, but I think this is just a vacant lot. Okay. So in this case, it didn't really help me too much, but I know that this one sold for $100,000. And based on what we are seeing, there's very limited activity here. So this is probably not going to be one that I am going to be considering, right? Deal or no deal. In this case, no deal. Number one, there's not enough investor activity for me to be interested in it. And number two, even if I did get it, there's no chance that I'd be able to get it sold. Okay, so let's go back now. Let's look for one more, and then I am going to, actually, it is already 12 noon, so I have another meeting I have to get to. I appreciate everybody participating. Just a quick reminder, okay, I did release a book. It's called Deal Like a Dove, Dispo Like a Dragon. It is on Amazon. You can find it on Amazon. You can pick it up if you pick up the book, okay, and it is it's 400 pages. 400 pages of how to build this business, how to be successful, how to invest in real estate using wholesaling, okay? It's a great book. If you pick it up, take a photo of yourself with the book, tag us on social media. I will send you a code for the Audible version. I'll send it to you for free, okay? Next thing, the website, and you can go to dove.dispodragons.com, dove.dispodragons.com. That's just a shortcut straight to the Amazon link. Very next thing, if you are interested in a mentor or having a mentor walk you through the entire process, walk you through this entire deal, you can shadow the mentor. They will help you close your leads. They will help you get your contracts drafted. They will help you get those deals closed. They will help you find buyers. And they will all do this in the form of a profit-sharing mentorship structure so that you get paid, they get paid, everybody wins. If you're interested in learning more about this profit mentorship program, you can go to start.dispodragons.com, start.dispodragons.com. It is one of the most affordable, if not the most affordable way to get actual coaching on how to build this business and help you make money and keep everybody winning and keep everybody, incentivized to work together. All right. So visit start.dispodragons.com. Once again, if you are not following us, please make sure that you subscribe, give us a thumbs up, make sure that you like this video, make sure that you follow us so that way you can get alerts anytime we go live or anytime we upload new content that we are creating or curating for you. Our goal is to go live every single day. And when you give us, messages in our DMs about the stuff that you'd like to learn more about or the stuff that you need help with, it just helps us come up with that content for you. Okay. So I appreciate you participating. I'll see you on the next live. Take care.